Meeting to order at 6 p.m. on September 7th, 2021. A motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We have just 1 minute to approve, and that's the minutes of the 16th. Are there any additions or corrections to these minutes as presented? If there are none, will somebody make a motion to accept the minutes of August 15th?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Danny, I guess you're on highway report. What do you have to tell us?
So on 121, I talked to Basin's brothers today. They're about 2 weeks out before they'll be back to do the milling, because once they do the milling, then they'll move right in and do the paving shortly right after. We have one more culvert to put across down by the bridge, right beside Neil Wickham's driveway across the Parkers, left to do. On Ledge Road is all done. They've been doing some of the shoulder work started today. So that's coming along pretty good. We'll be waiting on Basin's probably to do the finish up of all the shoulders and, the catch basin systems in front of Douglas's place. We'll do that all when I get close to pave. Probably we're gonna start running around and try to do some of these smaller washouts, just with the neat gravel, with the town trucks and the grader, and get up, try to get caught up on some of the grading. Some of the roads are getting pretty rough.
Yeah, some of them, I got a couple of complaints.
Yeah, I started today, and we're probably tomorrow, the grader will be running all day and off and on throughout the whole week, just trying to smooth out some of the regular stuff along with fixing some of the washings here and there. I think we're gonna have to try finding another contractor to help us finish some of these culvert crossings from the flood. Because Jamie's so busy, he can't, he's giving us a day a week. So I don't know what we're gonna find yet, but we're gonna try finding someone that can help us move it along a little bit faster. So that,
Have you tried M&M in Chester?
I haven't called anybody. I talked to Jamie today, because, he tried to get him the first option. He was there the night before
Right,
with us,
right.
and then it's kind of like keep him there. He just said he's so busy and behind on his own stuff that he'll do what he can. But I'm gonna start calling around to see if we can get someone just to help out with some of it. We don't have a lot of, it's tedious stuff. It's not a lot of it, it's time consuming to do it. Time you clean the ditch out, put stone back in, or do a culvert. It's the slower part of the whole process now. Other than that, everything's been going pretty good. We had the Caterpillar down a week ago, do some work on our limber, we had some brake problems with that. Everything else has been pretty good.
And are we gonna try to do the paving up by rights at the same time as the pave down here?
So that, I need some direction on how we gotta do that, because of being the flood part. I don't know if that has to go out to bid, I don't know how that works.
I don't know what the distance is.
And I think they only pay for what was washed. So what I would like to do, I have to check and see with the numbers for the paving. What I would like to see done out there is patch during Irene, and it doesn't hold up when they just do the edges. I'd like to see it cut off at both ends and pave the whole section and be done with it.
So did I.
The town, we probably wouldn't get reimbursed for it all. I think there's money enough in our paving budget, because I'm not gonna try to pave from Cambridgeport to the Athens line this year with everything that's going on. So I think there's enough money probably in there to pay for the difference. I don't know if we could talk to Megan Brunk for the state and ask them if we gotta bid that again, or because we already done a bid process this year, if they'd accept Basin Brothers just doing the work. Or if we gotta rebid that.
Because the Concord Road is in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of our
Good
better.
shape, and if you don't do it right, then you're gonna have another issue there.
I think by the time you have a contractor come in and cut that back and patch it all in,
Yeah,
it's gonna be the same money if they just cut both ends
I agree.
and rip that out and pave it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it won't last if you do the other.
Right.
You'll tear it up this winter with the plows.
So, you know, there might be some difference there in money that the town would be
Well,
liable for, right?
give me the amount you think it would cost to pay that section,
Yep,
and then we can look at our policy, and then I can talk to a few people about that. It makes sense if Basin will give us a break because he doesn't have to move his equipment
right,
completely. I mean, he has to move it, but not.
but we're still, I mean, we'd have to have someone rip the blacktop up.
Could we do that with a grader?
No, you gotta dig it out with an excavator.
Okay.
Can you reclaim it?
You could, I mean, I'll look into that and just digging it up.
Okay.
They might move their, like what we did on 21, just grind it up, grade it out and pave it,
Yeah,
and ask them.
I know there's money in the budget because we're not, I know with the, not doing the, to the end of Tatersport there, I mean, Athens, there's money, I know there's money there.
Yeah, I think there's enough left in the retreatment fund to pay the difference out there.
is the treatment fund state money? Or is it our money? Huh?
It's our money.
Okay. Oh, then
We
you-
have 175 that's a grant, and then with the rest, the difference we're paying out of our funds,
Oh,
but that's not state money.
so if we're using our money on Townsend Road, we can do with whatever you think complies with the purchase policy. You don't have to follow any.
I think, well, it'll be over $5,000,
So,
so.
yeah, but all you have to do is get three people to tell you what to do it.
Part of that's gonna be FEMA, and part of it's gonna be us,
Right. That's why I think it needs to be bid.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you probably, well, for FEMA purposes, you just need the three.
But what they're gonna be bidding on is just fixing the dam,
And
not,
that's not what we're gonna tell FEMA. We're gonna tell FEMA to pay for the whole damn thing, because if you don't repave it, it won't last. And that's what we told the last time out here, when we got a mile and a half out of Fed highways. But yeah, don't let FEMA off the hook too early.
Well, we need to know what Megan figured out there,
Yeah, but all she figured is filling in the,
do what?
all she figured is filling it in.
Yeah, but I don't know how far or how wide or anything.
I can get that from her. Okay.
yeah, cause that needs to be done. Bid out there.
I mean, you've got Basin here now, he gave you the price per ton.
If we can get them.
Yeah, I don't know if it will.
John, would you say again where this piece of highway is? I didn't hear the location.
The what?
The location of the highway, the
Town
stretch.
You know where, Altenburg's houses?
Archibald's.
Yeah, it's right there.
No, I don't, but I'll find out.
You can't miss the spot when you drive
I guess
out.
you haven't been down to Townsend lately, because if you did, you would know it.
It's just before the town line.
Yeah.
On the Townsend Road. Both sides of the road. I think, a lot of these projects are done, so we should have some totals for some roads too, with the flood stuff. You know, quite a few of them.
You think that Michelle's got a total now?
I don't know, how she, I don't think she's done totals of the roads, but I think that, you know, because the invoices came in last to this pay period that we're in, that should be like the final for some of the roads. I don't know if she's been able to break out of the, materials bought in and moved them around yet.
Yeah, but I'd like to compare it with my figures.
Yes, Kidder Hill, the only thing that's really left on that is the flushing of one culvert and putting gravel on it, and that one will be done. I need to find a few more small trucks to do that, so we're not waiting all day for just a couple of the gravel. And then that one's done.
You mean to grab the whole road or just the back one?
The first part of
Okay,
it, yeah. It should be, it's quite a bit, but you have to have small trucks to do it,
I know,
so.
because we have a wonderful bridge.
So we got that to deal with, but it's coming along, slowed down a lot now, plus with the 121 project. But the bulk of that's done too, because all the material's on the road now, down through there. what's left there in that pull-off material. It will be just a couple spots on the shoulders, but to fit up people's driveways, when it's paved and everything that we have to made up, so.
And Joe, I was there, I know that twice today, I mean, the road is fine.
Oh, I think they're going faster now than they were when it was paved.
I think you're right.
They were flying down.
I was behind two people, nobody slowed down,
Yeah,
they kept going.
we, got Austin Powers for one of the other flaggers, he does an excellent job, works good, him and Walter, so. Yeah, hopefully we have him for quite a few years,
Good.
so.
Anybody else have anything with Danny? Okay, Kim's not here, she doesn't have anything.
No, the only thing she has is, we, if to tell you, we have the 65, the county money, the 65,000 for Martha, that came, and she has it.
Okay, and I talked to her today, and, I believe either the next select board meeting or the one after that, she'll have, information, and we need to start setting dates for the budget workshops. That'll be coming up in October, but other than that, that's it. Okay. Cemetery committee. You want to do it, John, or I'll do it? Bill sent out letters to the owners who border the Holtonville Cemetery to see if they have any interest in donating or selling land. So I checked with Bill this morning, we have not got anything back yet, so that's out there. And as far as the Fisher piece of property, we're far away from that because they need to give us a letter of intent that was, so that's not here yet, so that's about where we are. You want to add anything, John? Highway?
I'm so sorry that happened, that I never get a call. Anyway, John and I are meeting with Carol Dakota, and as you know, is the project manager for the Walker Bridge project. And we're checking on the warrants for June and July. The total amount spent was $22,000. The bulk of that work was utility work for $15,000, and the balance of it was hydraulics, turning movements that we needed to do for the Rushton farm, and the title work, the beginning of the title work. And as of the end of August, the total bills for the town are $35,000, which means that $350,000 has been spent on the project so far. And we're keeping track. Our next meeting with Carolyn, we will ask her for the budget for this fiscal year, and we'll be able to keep track of our progress today.
John, you have anything? Okay. Anybody else? Parks committee? I don't think there's anything to add, because I know. Okay. Personnel?
Yeah, Suzanne met with Kim last week, and today we met with the highway crew. Very good conversation and information, suggestions, recommendations that we can apply to the policy. And we're just keep moving forward. We do have to meet with Bill, because he had another commitment and we could not meet, so we'll be planning that.
Okay. Buildings committee? I know, Bill, the architects show up today.
Yeah, the building committee, if they don't have anything, we talked, I sent out the emails to about 16 architectural firms, and one showed up for the meeting. They didn't have to come to that, so we still might get bids from other people, but not likely. But one did show up from Albany. He seems very interested in the project, and Jeff Martell helped me with the meeting. He, as you know, he's an architect. Daniel Williams, I think his name is, he's one of the partners in the firm. We met here for about 45 minutes, talked about the project, talked about things to do. Then we started in the front of the building, looked at the side, went down the basement, checked all the rooms, looked at the possibility of putting it, come up in the middle of the room, which is less expensive theoretically than going out because you don't have to heat it. But going outside, if it were to be outside over here, it would probably not come in the back window, but would come in this window right here, because you need a foyer to get out of the weather before you go into it, and that, it has to be handicapped 5x5, so you need quite a bit of room before you can get in the elevator, and so, he is going to give us a proposal on what they will do and all the services they will provide and the cost of that. Those services may include getting bids from sending out bids to people and getting the bids back and then going through the bids. So they are, so that's where we stand. I don't know how long it would take. He knows we'd like to have something ready to go in early spring, but he didn't say how long it would take to get the paperwork back if he got the bid. It was good meeting.
When did you have that meeting, Bill?
So again,
When did you have the meeting?
this morning,
Oh, I wasn't notified on that meeting, the building committee.
that was publicly noticed at 10 o'clock this morning. And I sent that notice out to everybody. So if you didn't get it, I don't know why you didn't get it.
Bill, did you have any thoughts about what would be the less expensive option to build? Whether we put it inside or bought it from the outside? Or did you not get into that kind of
It
detail?
would probably be less expensive inside. Unless you had to do a lot of stuff inside.
Yeah.
And you don't, you have to make room for it in the basement and move a lot of stuff. You gotta move all your, water pipes, and there's a whole bunch of pipes down there, big pipes that all have to be moved. You can't set it against the wall, so it would have to come out from this wall because the wall in the basement goes way out. There's just a whole bunch of problems with putting it inside.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have the architectural problems. But I kind of think it might be like putting it inside because it's cheaper, and then you take all the space inside that you want to do for something else, like have enough people in this room. You don't know how big that's take out. We're at 49 right now, fire capacity. And if you move it there, maybe we're 40. Yeah, so I mean, there's a whole bunch of other issues, but he's gonna look at that and he'll probably give us that option. Because him looking at the building today isn't the end of it. If he gets the bid, they'll come back and they'll measure everything to the 1/4 inch, and do the whole thing. We also talked to him about the back. We need to put in a stairway, fire stairway, and it should be covered and probably should be steel, which might be cheaper than building in wood anyway. It'd be up to you guys, but I think what we want to do is probably do that separate. Get this done first and then look at that. Because that is not so much an architectural thing as it is a stair company that does exterior stairs for fire escapes, has the package, they have the engineers. They just build it in their plant, bring it here, put it up. It isn't as if it has to be designed special.
Does the building committee know when Cole is coming for the ACs?
I called him this morning and he didn't get back to me, but he's still waiting for his, the equipment. And Gus.
He was supposed to do the
Also is
electrical.
waiting.
Isn't he?
Pardon me?
He was supposed to do the electrical work a week ago, so wasn't he?
He can't get it's like everything else. They're two of the things he needs to do to work, and there's no sense of doing it without those two things. You can't get it. So he and Coleman are in the same boat, that stuff just isn't available.
Suzanne, you have a question?
Yes. Bill, would you just refresh my memory about how we're going to pay for the elevator? I know that we have the grant from the foundation, and is some of the ARPA money going to be used for that?
That's their main thing with ARPA.
So the ARPA money, it can be authorized to use to pay for it, and the rationale for that is what? Or is the ARPA standard?
There's probably about 7,000 rationales for it, because if you read there, they give you all these reasons you can do it, but the main one is you don't have to go borrow somebody's building to have our meetings in, and therefore, we don't have to worry about them cleaning their building and getting the spread of COVID. But the main thing is Fred Duplessis of Sullivan Power says, you don't have to worry about a reason.
I'm sorry?
You don't have to worry about a reason. There's all sorts of reasons for doing it, but you don't have to worry about a reason. They're not ever gonna come and check what your reason was or wasn't. But that said, we're gonna make sure that we have a good foundation for doing it. There's this whole thing for reasons to do it. There's a whole bunch of different reasons for doing it. But also, if we're gonna use this for town meetings and stuff, there's all sorts of stuff on, health and everything else, that once we have that open, this could be used, this room could be used a lot for a whole bunch of things that all are specifically stated in there, along with redoing your buildings to, cut down on the possibility of the spread of COVID. And the heat pumps and all that is all part of what they talk about.
Okay. And who told you they weren't going to check on and doing any audit? Who made that claim?
Duplessis says no one's gonna ever check.
Who's that?
Fred Duplessis of Sullivan Powers, the CPA.
I just couldn't hear you, Bill.
But there's a whole bunch of reasons for it.
Okay.
And I think I wrote out 30 before, and I have it in my other book there. Okay. We'll all have it.
Sounds like you got it covered.
Code compliance.
Code, yeah, code compliance, yeah.
Anything else on the building?
Thank you.
Wastewater, we're trying to, now that the surge and flood is over and we're back together, Bill was sending out letters, and we're trying to set up a meeting with Sue Allen and I with the people to start the process, so that's in the works. Any other business? Okay. Do we have public comment? Public? Anybody comment? Okay. All right, so the next select board meeting is September 20th at 6 PM. Okay. And so we have somebody on Microsoft Teams. We've had.
Yeah, Charlie.
Huh?
Yeah, Charlie. Don't.
Charlie, do you have anything? I guess not.
Drink.
He's having a drink. Okay, all right, there's nothing else. Motion to adjourn, please. Okay, so we had two first. Who's being first?
I got two in county.
Okay, that's fine. All right, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Suzanne, let's see if we can't figure out a date